But that's what we do out here. We help one another. White, black, yellow, or green. We do not discriminate because we know that we all God's children.
That's right.
We was teaching online Book of Doctrines and Covenants. It was telling us to go purchase some land. So I just threw it out there to the congregation. And the congregation said, yeah, we'll come together. We'll put all our money together and we'll get the land. So we were looking. Women are more sensitive to the Spirit of God than men are. And when we pulled up on this 40 acres, got out the car, my wife broke down crying. And when she broke down crying, I said, this is it. This is it right here. This is where we coming. And everything you see here today, it took us what? How many years?
We're 6 years into this.
Yeah, 6 years ago it was nothing.
6 years in.
It was nothing.
And then, one day me and my wife was leaving, and I said, man, it sure would be nice if somebody would sell an acre or two outside of this property. And then the next week, we was coming back out here, and there was a sign. I was like, I looked at my wife, she looked at me, she said, we supposed to buy that. So I called the number, I said, well, how much you want for it? He said, give me $4,000. We over there on that other acre too, we're going to show you too, that's ours too. So everything has been easy. I mean, people think it was hard. It hasn't been hard, it's been easy.
No.
We are the most wealthiest people on the planet, spend over $1 trillion a year in the system.
Commerce.
Imagine if we got together with some educated brothers and sisters and said, hey, can you put 500, you put 500, we'll go buy 3,000 acres. If we all came together. The door is wide open to our people. So all we ask is that you come right. This is our land. This is not my land. It's ours. All they got to do is come out here, find a spot, set up, and go get a job. We give hand-ups. We don't give handouts. Just like he's going to show you in a little while, the ministry came together and we bought an RV for us. You're going to see up here on the hill.
Beautiful.
You know, we got the solar system, we got everything, the septic put in. You guys will see it, he'll show it to you.
Come on, man, what? There he is.
Pretty good.
Y'all doing the tour?
Yeah.
You got on that hat, man. I ain't give you no dap.
I told
You
him,
know you love it. You know you love it.
You all right?
Oklahoma Mike is a big Dallas fan.
I know,
That's how it works, right?
Hey, I'm 3 hours away from Dallas when I was there. So
Come on,
I
man.
don't mind going there at all.
That's right.
How you doing?
Yeah.
Good to see you guys.
We're gonna put something on the grill at the acre.
Yeah.
Get off grid and start practicing living off the grid. They come pick a spot. Water, main house.
Yeah.
Solar power. This setup actually powers the church and this kitchen that we built for the community. All the panels on the church.
Hey, Shalom, it's your brother Yonathan. All right, first and foremost, I want to give all praises to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Rakah HaKodash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. I want to say Shalom to all the brothers and, of course, the few sisters pursuing this truth in sincerity. All right, may the blessing of election be upon your houses.
White, black, yellow, or green, we do not discriminate because we know that we all God's children.
That's right.
What precept is that? There's going to be a lot of people popping up, man, again, that don't have the proper doctrine or that do know elements of the truth, but because they want to coexist with this world, because they want to thrive here, they'll bend the doctrine, they'll bend what the scriptures are actually about for the sake of, thriving in this society. Now, I see this guy come up in my feed sometimes. I don't know what group he's with. I think they're their own group, but they bought this land in Oklahoma. They have Edomites, they have all kind of people on it. Anybody could come. This is one of those groups that's very simple to infiltrate. Anybody that calls himself an Israelite, this devil's going to be setting up people among the congregations to try to sabotage, to wild out and do something so that the whole ministry could be blamed. That's the MO. And it's always been his MO. Okay? They're buying land. When the scriptures talk about the believers in times past, they were selling their lands, and they were being pilgrims upon the earth, man, because we're all going to be wanted. What we're doing, we're hazarding our lives teaching what we teach. We're hazarding our lives calling ourselves Israelites alone. So people like this, they don't necessarily get it. They don't understand. And situations like this is just going to be a trap. It's not something. If you do want to get together with some brothers and y'all have a setup, cool. It ain't something that necessarily need to be publicized, right? It don't need to be something that's public. Okay. At the end of the day, more than likely, everybody gonna have to move and shake and bake a little bit around when things really hit the fan. You're gonna have to forsake the things that you think you acquired or the possessions that you think you have. It's gonna be part of the test. But There's a lot of Jake, man. They know they're Israelites, but they're not being one. And when I say they know they're Israelites and they're not being one, is they're not in the mind frame of Yahushua. They don't understand the fullness of prophecy. And because they don't understand the fullness of prophecy and don't have the spirit of Yahushua, they're not able to operate in the way that the Lord wants the believers to operate so that they can cross the finish line of salvation. So they're going to be doing things that they ought not to, bringing unnecessary strife upon themselves and the people that follow them. 2nd Ezra 16:39, even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth. And we're getting ready to step into that time where plagues are hitting this place from all sides. All right, right now it's on the horizon. It's trickling in on the population of America, because Americans, you know, whenever they see peril and trouble, it's always so far away to them. It's seemingly like, oh, that doesn't affect me. So they don't really give a fuck about the things that are going on around the world. But the perils and the plagues are getting ready to touch Babylon the Great, where the bulk of the nation of Israel resides. Okay? Verse 39 again from the top. Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side. O my people, hear my word, make ye ready to thy battle, and in those evils be even as pilgrims upon the earth. It's going to come a time, as I mentioned prior, that you're going to have to forsake a lot of things you think you have. You know, and it's not too many brothers that, you know, may own land or own a house, or, you know, but whatever you think you have ownership of, you don't. 1, 2, you're going to have to forsake it. Even these phones in our hands. If you're wanted and this devil's looking for you, you think you're going to be able to keep this tracking device in your hand, in your pocket? More than likely, you're going to have to ditch all, you know, forms of technology. If you're on the run from somebody and somebody's looking for you, this isn't like some what's the Mission Impossible kind of movie. It's not that. It's not going to be that. All right. And the Lord's going to allow for brothers to communicate. I believe it, you know, speaking as a man. But he's going to allow us to communicate and know one another is good and in some form or fashion. Remember, the chariots are going to be encamped round about us in the midst of all of this. All right? If I'm not mistaken, it's slipping my mind. Forget the prophet that was beamed over to Daniel in an instant. I'll come back to that point. It's slipping my mind right now. It's going to bother me. But yeah, the Lord's going to create other avenues for us to, you know, communicate with one another, watch over one another, you know what I mean, all those things. But at the end of the day, you got to work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. There might be some brothers and some sisters that are on their own, you know, for spurts of time or for the whole time. Whatever your test may be, you got to, you know, be in the spirit, locked in, and praying to the Lord to give you strength to pass your test, your individual test, because this ain't a group test. You understand? So this whole thing with the, you know, building the Israelite community and then inviting heathen in with you, because they're not teaching, oh, black, white, or green. No, it's the spirit with us within the man that determines that they're Israelite. They're straight up just what that guy teaches is that anybody, any nation, they're not teaching the proper doctrine. Which all of that is just going to be a setup to get people hemmed up when they start to blame those who call themselves Israelites, those that fear the Lord. Again, like Elder Yashawamba says all the time, a lot of these jakes, man, their purpose is to be shields for the elect. Now, I read verse 14 in Hebrews 9 in my previous lesson today in the NLT. But I'm reading the KJV this time, but we're going to read verse 15 just to back up the fact that salvation exclusively pertains unto the family of the covenant. This is Hebrews 9 and 15. It says, for this cause, he is the mediator, Yahushua, of the New Testament, that by means of death for the redemption of the transgressions that were under the first testament. Who was under the first covenant, the first testament? The nation of Israel. Exclusively. They which are called receive the promise of eternal inheritance. It still pertains unto the family of Israel. Okay? And I got this in Hebrew 9. It's in the New Testament. For somebody who's, you reading the Old Testament? No. Even when you talk about the new covenant being established, all right, in Jeremiah 30, and the law has been written within the inward parts of the nation of Israel, it still mentions that it pertains unto the people that were under that first contract. Like, you know, but anyway, this is a snare and a trap for whoever it's for. I seen this, I figured I'd report on it. Abaratazadalas was edifying. I want to give all praises once more to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Rakah HaKodash, double lines apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught us this truth so we don't fall for shit like this. And shalom to all the brothers and of course the few sisters pursuing this truth and sincerity. All right, may the blessing of election be upon your houses. Shalom.